What's up, and welcome to Romantic Moments with AJ. I'm your host, AJ. Anyway, in this, our debut episode, I'll be telling you about the time that I burnt down my house while having sex, and because of it, why I hate System of the Down and have a phobia that I live with to this day. Anyway, big shout out to GTA Man for giving me a platform and encouraging me to do this, and let's jump into it. Anyway, so the year's about 2001. I'm 25 years old. I had dropped out of college, and I was working as a pizza delivery driver. So, pretty good gig. You get tips, gas money, and regular minimum wage at this point. So, not a bad deal. Anyway, so I've been working there for a while, and we get a new driver, and she's pretty cute. Seems nice. So I'm like, hey, try and hook up with this chick, see what happens. So I asked her out a couple times to have drinks, and she was busy. She didn't have time or whatever. So I was like, fuck it, maybe she don't dig. But then the following week, she actually asked me out for a drink. So I was like, heck yeah, let's do it. So we go to the neighborhood bar right by my house. It's a little dive bar, super cheap liquor. I think you can get like a rum, like a tall, like premium rum and coke for like $3. Be like 4 shots. But yeah, it was great. So we're shooting the shit, getting to know each other, and she's super into System of the Down. For some reason, she just likes System of the Down. She had been to like a bunch of shows, had like signed memorabilia and stuff, she said, at her house. That's cool. So then I asked her, I said, I wanted to know, do you got a girlfriend? Do you have a boyfriend? What's your deal? And she actually said, yeah, I do have a boyfriend. I was like, I was kind of taken aback by that. I was like, well, if you have a boyfriend, you guys serious? You guys happy? She said, yeah, actually we are. So I said, what are you doing out here with me? If I had a girlfriend that I was into, I don't know if I'd be drinking at a bar with a chick. Anyway, she kind of didn't have an answer for that. Kind of made her think, a little bit. So, fast forward, we start hanging out quite a bit, actually. Like, I'm at this time supplementing my income by selling weed. So I was selling the Mary Jane to her, and she'd come over, we'd hang out, and one thing would lead to another, and we end up making out. So we're doing this dance for about a good couple weeks, like 3-4 weeks, about a month, and at this point we're kind of dating. I mean, we're seeing each other about 4 times a week, hanging out quite a bit. We haven't had sex yet, but so the night in question, we're at that same bar. I worked that day, she did not, so she met me at work, and I drove her over to the bar, and we're drinking. And actually, before we got to the bar, we went and picked up her truck. She was having a truck repaired. So we went over, picked up the truck. She followed me in the truck to the bar, and we were and started drinking, get hammered. And she's like, hey, let's go back to your house. I was like, yeah, let's do it. So she follows me over to the house, and one thing leads to another. This at this point in my life, I'm such a degenerate. My power is out. So I have like one lamp downstairs that I'm stealing power from like a neighbor's house, and then I have candles. That's about it. So we're making out on the couch, and she's like, "Hey, let's go upstairs." I said, "Yeah, let's go upstairs." So we go upstairs, and she has a duffel bag with her, and I asked her, I said, "What did you bring the duffel bag for?" She said, "Oh, I thought I was going to stay in town." She lived on the outskirts of town, so she said, "I had to work early in the morning, so I thought I'd stay in town tonight, so I brought a change of clothes and stuff." I was like, oh, okay, cool. So she was supposed to stay at her friend's house. So I'm thinking she's going to leave after this. So I said, all right. So anyway, we get upstairs, and she opens up the duffel bag, and she starts pulling out candles. I'm like, what are you doing with candles in your duffel bag? And she's like, well, I have to be honest, I thought we were going to do it tonight, so I put together this like special care package thing, make it more special, this and that. I was like, oh, all right. So she's like, here, light up these candles, and I'll be right back. I was like, all right, I'll be lighting these candles up, and you go do your thing. So I'm lighting candles, putting them on the bedside, and on my nightstand, and on the dresser, and then on top of the, and then also on top of like the table that I had in my room. And so I'm on the last one. I've got this big 3-wick candle, and I'm lighting it up, and I'm sitting on the edge of my bed. Now, granted, I just have like a box spring and mattress on the floor, nothing fancy. So I'm sitting on the bed, lighting up this candle, and right when I get done lighting, I'm going to put it on a sofa table by my door. But she opens up the door, and she comes in, and she's just wearing like a corset, like one of those bustier kind of lingerie things like porn stars wear. And she says, "Hey, why don't you put down that candle?" Oh, yeah, better. Looks like I got much better things to do than light this piece of shit. So I put the thing on the floor right by the edge of the bed, and then we go to town, like doing the horizontal mambo. We're getting busy, bumping uglies. So time passes here, we finish up, and we're giving each other high fives, chilling out, talking afterwards, whatever you guys do when you get done doing the deed. And I'm looking down at the edge of the bed, and flames start shooting up the side of the bed. And I'm like, holy fuck. In a panic, we both just jump up. And what had happened was during sex, the comforter had moved to the edge of that to the edge of the bed where the 3-wick candle was, and fell on top of the candle and caught fire right after we were done. And so we jump up out of bed in a panic, and she grabs a rolled up sleeping bag that I had from a camping trip that was sitting there, and she starts beating the fire with this rolled up sleeping bag, which is doing nothing but like just spreading the fire, fanning the flames of this thing. And it's just spreading. So in a panic, I'm looking for my cell phone, and I go, can't find it. And so I run to in a panic, I run to the bathroom, and I start trying to cup water out of the toilet to put this thing out. I know, right? I'm a real genius here. And so I run back with this handful of water that doesn't even make it to the bedroom, because it like falls on the floor out of my hands, of course. And I come back in the bedroom, and I see my entire bed on fire, like the whole mattress on fire. I can see the springs in the mattress. And at this point, I'm like, fuck it. I run out of my house naked. She's probably still trying to put on clothes. I don't know what she's doing. I just ran. Go run down to my neighbor's house, Sean, like butt naked in the middle of the night. It's about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I start pounding on his door. So he opens the door, and his poor cousin, 13-year-old cousin, this poor girl's asleep on the couch, has to watch me come in there naked, cupping my balls, asking to dial 911 for the cops. So call the police department, call 911, get him over there. Sean lets me borrow a pair of shorts. Firemen come, put out the fire, and we're all good. Fire's out, everybody's safe, nobody dies, we're all good. So so at this point, fireman tells me everything's good in the house, but you can't stay here tonight. So I was like, all right. So we decided to go back to her house. So she's like, drive my truck, and then we can go to my house and, spend the night, figure it all out in the morning. So go to her. So I'm driving her truck. She's too distraught to drive. And so as we're driving, freaking cop lights come on. I get pulled over. I can't figure out why I'm getting pulled over. So she tells me, oh, by the way, my tags are expired. Holy shit. One thing on top of another. Cop takes mercy on me and gives me just a infraction ticket. Doesn't, I told him what had happened, so he doesn't give me a sobriety test or anything like that. I'm sure I smell like smoke or whatever. So court dates for a month and a half from that date. So fast forward a month and a half, and we've been dating still, believe it or not. Burning down my house can't quill the lust we have for each other. So we're dating at this point. I think she still has a boyfriend. I'm not really sure whatever happened to him. Anyway, but yeah, our relationship's so strong that 2 weeks before my court date, she just leaves town, moves out of town in the middle of the night, and leaves a postcard on my truck saying she's out. But what she did leave at my house was a System of a Down CD, which she wanted back like crazy. So I was like, well, come back for the court date and you can have your CD. So she comes back into town and for the court date, and by this point I'm sleeping on my buddy's couch, and I have about $400 to my name. And so we go to court, and I'm thinking she's gonna pay for the ticket. I mean, it's her truck, she didn't have tags on it. It's her fault that I shouldn't have been driving, but it's her, whatever. So I'm thinking she's going to pay for the ticket. Well, she doesn't. She doesn't have the money or whatever. So it turns out that I had to pay my last $400 for the ticket, and I kept her CD because she just forgot about it. Most expensive CD I ever bought, and I never listened to it. So, and also because of this, to this day, my wife can't light candles in the house. Can't have candles in the house. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, smack a like. And we'll see you in the next one.